Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for another broadcast. Tonight's broadcast will be the ARCS Memorial 125 here at Dover Speedway. It will be in the NASCAR trucks. And tonight's race will feature a moment of silence on lap 13. We will have stage breaks starting at lap 11. The next stage will be lap 45. And outside of that, we hope to have green flag racing for most of the night. As these gentlemen will begin to wrap up qualifying, I do want to take a moment and let everyone know that tonight's race is the first of the season. Defending champion Nicholas Pressey is in tonight's field. He will look to start tonight off strong, but we'll have tough competition as familiar faces in Cody Pennell, Kobe Roberts, Tom Sears, and Samuel Roberts may have something to say tonight. As they get underway, we will go ahead and bring up the leaderboard for tonight's action. As you can see, we do have 14 cars for tonight's event. We sure hope that this will be an exciting show for everybody that is tuning in. Downton Gaming says Season 1 champ is Cody Pennell. Season 2 is Nicholas Pressey. And it is certainly going to be an awesome rivalry to watch throughout this year. It will be interesting to see if one of the two familiar faces will take home this championship, or if it could possibly be a newcomer to the championship scene that ends up stealing this entire championship. But either way, it will all kick off tonight in the Memorial 125. We are super excited for tonight's race as I'm getting PM to join the broadcast booth. Tonight's action will be tonight's theme for tonight's action will be a memorial to not only 9/11 but the 13 fallen soldiers that fell in Afghanistan a couple weeks ago when we had the withdrawal. We do certainly pray for all of the people involved as our country tries to recover from the withdrawal of Afghanistan.
Got me?
We certainly do have you, SK.
All right, we are going session. We're going to be gritting up now.
Sounds good. We wish you luck in your race tonight, as you look
Thank you,
to
sir. Hopefully we put.
advance from that 13th spot.
I'm gonna try. All right. Good luck.
For those of you that don't know, SK is Stephen Downton. He has changed his name to SK for tonight's event and for the season, but typically that is Stephen Downton. So we wish him luck in tonight's event. As he just said, they will be gridding up. So let's go ahead and see if we can jump to the race leader. As we're having some technical difficulties right now. Let's see if we can perhaps fix that real fast. Not too sure why it's not letting me select it with the normal camera view. But let's go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown of the grid order. So starting on tonight's pool in the 28 car is Cody Pennell. Starting on the outside of him is Tom Sears in the 14. We do have defending truck champion Nicholas Pressey starting tonight's event in third in the 94. In that fourth place, we do have Kobe Roberts in the 22. In the fifth place, we have Samuel Roberts in the 15. In sixth place, we have Tommy Reynolds in the 25. In seventh place, we have Thomas in the 24. In eighth, we have Ryan Pennell in the 1 car. In ninth place, we have Brian in the 51 car. In 10th place, we have Joshua Garrison in the 44. In the 11th place, we do have... Well, somebody just left, so that's interesting. In the 10th place, we now have Tristan Catania. In the 11th place, we have DP. In the 12th place, we have SK. In the 13th spot, we have Daniel Meadow. In the 14th place, we have Tracy Pennell. In the 15th spot, we have the 8 of Justin Williams. And we're just going to go ahead and give this a quick refresh so that way we can get the race going, as it's already started. And unfortunately, we are having some technical difficulties up here. Not too sure why it's not letting me change views. We'll go ahead and try to just give everything a quick reset. I'm not sure why iRacing is being so difficult tonight. Hmm. Let's see if we can jump to the 28 of Cody Pennell. No, maybe not. Interestingly enough, it seems Cody has lagged out. Not too sure why that has happened. We'll have to see if we can get an answer from race control at some point. Alright, well, while we're under caution here, I'm going to go ahead and check my settings and make sure that my settings are all set right. We definitely have sound now. Now let's go ahead and turn that all down. Alright, now hopefully everything is all set now. We can go ahead and get some green flag action going. So while we're under caution here, let's go ahead and refresh everything and see if we can get the start of this race for a brief second. Just to kind of see what happened. So it looks like the 28 lagged out, which moved the 94 to the front row. 94 had a great start. Let's go ahead and get live now that we figured out what happened at the start of that race.
Green flag, green flag.
This is the lap 11 mandatory caution in honor of the 9/11 victims and the men and women who lost their lives trying to save the people in those buildings that day. So we will go ahead and honor them by giving them a moment of silence. Again, that was a moment of silence for the 9/11 victims and the men and women who lost their lives trying to save the few that day, the firefighters, the police, the first responders. As it does appear everybody is coming down pit road. And as we get ready for this 13th lap, we will still be under caution, and we will be having another moment of silence on lap 13 for the 13 fallen soldiers who lost their life in the withdrawal of Afghanistan due to a suicide bomber. We pray for their families, and we pray that they might get some peace. Again, that was a moment of silence for the 13 soldiers that lost their life in Afghanistan 2 weeks ago when we were pulling out of Afghanistan. We pray for peace for their family, although we know that it is greatly sad times for them. We do want to take a moment to thank all of our current soldiers and veterans for giving it their all so that way we may remain a free country. In honor of that, we do have somebody in our midst that would like to honor their friend. Their friend is an Army or is a Navy veteran. His name is Jonathan Honeybrink. He has raced in past ARCS events. So we do want to take a moment to thank him for his service for this country, as we do all first responders and all veterans and current serving members. Your sacrifices are greatly appreciated in this country. As they will line them back up one more time here, we will give you a quick top 5 rundown. At the front, in first is Nicholas Pressey. On the outside of him in the 22 is Kobe Roberts. In third is DP. In fourth place is Samuel Roberts. In fifth place is Daniel Maddox. As we are back to green flag racing, Nicholas Pressey jumps out to an early lead. They are 2 wide back on the pack as the 4 of DP looks to the inside of Samuel Roberts. And we did have a pass for the lead as Kobe Roberts has taken over the first place position from Nicholas Pressey. On back in the field, we do have a car blinking out. That is the 48 of Tristan Catania. Hopefully he can get his internet issues resolved. We have a nice group of cars here. The 17 is trying to pass Ryan Pinnell on the outside and will just in front of them. The 54 is going to lose a position, and that is SK to Tom Sears. Oh, we have a wreck. That is the 8 of Justin Williams. And we will have to rewind a little bit to see who he got tangled up with, as we have a caution coming out. And it looks like there was some beating and banging going into the corner. Let's go ahead and see if we can go inside the car here for a better view of what might have happened. So he's going to tuck it to the inside of David Maddox. And he comes up, and they just make contact. And he goes down. He ends up collecting a few other drivers who hit the brakes to avoid that. That is certainly a shame for him and everybody involved. As we will go ahead and jump back up to the front here. Your leader, Kobe Roberts, passed Nicholas Pressey on that last restart. Nick did get a good jump, but Kobe managed to reel him in and get around him on the outside. Let's go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown of the top 5 while we're under caution. In first, as I just said, is Kobe Roberts in the 22. In second is Nicholas Pressey in the 94. In third is the 4 of DP. In fourth is the 15 of Samuel Roberts. In fifth is the 14 of Tom Sears. And we will certainly have to see if we have any takers on pit road. But while we wait for that, let's see if we can get a word from your leader. Hey, Kobe, it's Tyler up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, bud. We noticed you jumped out to the lead there. Did you want to tell us a little bit about how that happened?
I just doing your corner entry and knowing how the truck's gonna push up off the corner. I mean, earlier today, so just I've got a good feel for it, knowing where to go.
All right. Well, before you go, we did want to ask you a viewer question. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Probably bacon.
Bacon. Good stuff there, Kobe. We'll go ahead and get you back into your team chat. We appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Again, that was your leader, Kobe Roberts. And as he said, these trucks do have a bit more push than any of the cars do. So knowing exactly how much it's going to push off of the corner is going to be a huge advantage tonight. Hopefully everybody is taking notes as the race goes on and is formulating a game plan for how to possibly get around this 22 car later in the night. If not, they are certainly in for a long night, as Kobe has been fast very early in this race. And Spires says, "What's up, Pluto?" Not a whole lot, Spires. Hopefully your night is going well. I do appreciate you stopping by tonight's stream. And as always, hopefully the rest of the viewers feel like they can chime into the chat. I will do my best to respond to everybody in a timely manner. We have gotten the 1 lap to the green signal. We are very excited to get this green flag action underway as they head into 3 and 4. The green flag will fly. Kobe Roberts has jumped out to a huge lead as the 94 of Nicholas Pressey is going to try to hold off the 15 of Samuel Roberts and the 4 of DP, and it does look like he is going to do so. Samuel Roberts is going to move into the 3rd position, utilizing that high line to get around the 4. On back in the pack, we do have some spacing at the back here. This is your 10th place car, the 51 of Brian Messer, having a solid top 10 beginning to this race. The 17 is off the pace. Not entirely sure what happened to him. As we jump back up to the front, as Nicholas Pressey is going to try to run down your current leader, the 22 of Kobe Roberts, who is having an outstanding run tonight.
The yellow flag is out.
We do have another caution. And while we're under that caution, I did want to mention that tonight's big mover has been SK up into the 6th spot from the 13th spot. So quietly moving his way on up, hoping to finally break into the top 5 maybe. Let's go ahead and take a look back and see who all is involved. So it looks like that 10 car is involved again. Ryan Pinnell goes low. The 10 comes down, clips the 1, and mayhem ensues as I believe that was the 51 managed to barely make his way on by that. So very fortunate for him to not get caught up into that in that wreck. Well, while we are under caution, let's go ahead and check in with current second place car, Nicholas Pressey in the 94, on how his night is going so far. Nick, Tyler up in the booth, you got me?
How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Hey, we noticed that you're in second, riding right about where you were going to start till Ryan Pinnell Cody Pinnell left the race. How's your night been going so far?
It's been a quiet night, you know, and we like quiet nights behind the seat. Fortunately, I've been trying to gauge how fast the 22 is, what lines he's taking. I think I have a very good of what to do next 22.
Right. And before you go, we did want to ask a viewer question. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Love pancakes. It's really good.
All right, so we've had one for bacon and one for pancakes. Well, Nick, we thank you for your time here in the booth, and I'll go ahead and get you moved back down to your chat then.
All right. Thanks, Tyler.
Again, that was Nicholas Pressey, who is currently in that 2 spot on how his night's been going. He thinks he might have something for Kobe as he's been gauging his line and speed since the start of the race. We do wish Nick the best of luck. So just to give you a quick rundown, we do have a car that is out. That's the 25 of Tommy Reynolds. Tristan Catania in the 48 is also sitting in the pits, though we're not sure that he has officially retired yet. The 54 again has been the biggest mover of tonight's race so far, up into that 6th position. Hopefully he can manage to climb even further. Let's go ahead and jump back up to the front as we were given the 1 lap to green signal. And that's a beautiful shot of the field tonight.
Green flag, green flag.
Well, it looked like the green flag was about to fly. However, it has not flown yet. Just a reminder that we do have our second stage break coming up. It will be on lap 45. The green flag is out as the 22 of Kobe Roberts jumps out to an early lead again. Nicholas Pressey is going to lose a position to the 15 of Samuel Roberts. And in that 4th place position, Tom Sears is going to try to hang on to 4th as DP was challenging him. This top 5 has broken away from the rest of the field now. The 94 is trying to hang on to his position, but is under attack by the 14. The 14 is running the same line as Nick, so it's going to be very tough for him to get around him. On here at towards the middle of the pack, the 44 and the 8 are racing hard. And just behind them in the 17 is Tracy Pinnell, who is 3 laps down. And that 44 is also 3 laps down. The 54 of Stephen Downton, or SK, is back to 8th as he has struggled to get this thing going. Back up at the front of the pack, we have a pass on Samuel Roberts as Nicholas Presley blows on by, taking the 14 of Tom Sears with him. And the 14 of Tom Sears is going to try to get around this 94, but he's going to have some trouble, as Nick has been faster on the long runs of this race. So the longer this battle goes, the less chance he's going to have. And the 15 of Samuel Roberts has fallen way off the pass as Tracy Pinnell is trying to battle up through the field and possibly get his lap back. Just behind them is the 4 of DP and the 44 of Joshua Garrison. That is not for position, as Joshua Garrison is unfortunately 3 laps down. And as we head into this corner here, when they come back across the start finish line, there should be a caution. But as you can see, it's already come out. So this is the end of our stage, with Kobe Roberts taking another stage win, Nicholas Pressey maintaining that second spot, and Tom Sears in that third for your current podium of tonight's event. And again, tonight's action is, again, the ARCS Memorial 125 here at Dover, in memory of the 9/11 events that unfolded, where many men and women and first responders lost their life valiantly trying to save people from the collapsing buildings. And during this stage break, let's see if we have any takers down pit road. I would imagine most of the field will come to get those 4 fresh rubbers at least. Although we did just have a caution not but 10 laps ago. It looks like the leaders are tucking on down to come to pit road, as they have several followers from the rest of the lead lap cars, it looks like. This race off of pit road could certainly be a tight one, as we have all 4 of the cars from the top 4 in this picture right now. Kobe Roberts gets going first, followed by Nicholas Pressey. Tom Sears is going to come out third. It looks like the 8 may have just jumped into 4th place, possibly a 2-tire stop there. Simcoe Racing says, I wish that 99 truck was out there tonight. Yes, we certainly wish that Alex Simkowski in that 99 truck could be out here tonight. He is a phenomenal racer, very gifted. We're sad that he is not in tonight's race. So let's go ahead and give you guys a rundown of the current running order. We have Kobe Roberts in the 22 on that pole position there. Nick Pressey in the 94 in the second spot. Tom Sears in the third. In the fourth spot we have Justin Williams. In the fifth spot we have DP. In sixth, again, is SK in that 54. In seventh is Ryan Pinnell. In eighth, losing a ton of time on pit road, is Samuel Roberts. In ninth is Brian Messer. In 10th is Tracy Pinnell. In 11th is Joshua Garrison. In 12th is Thomas Andrews. And 13th is Daniel Maddox. In 14th is Tristan Catania. As we are kind of confused up here in the booth as to why we have a green flag flying when they're not all lined up yet. And just to touch base again, the 25 of Tommy Reynolds is out of tonight's event, choosing to retire his truck. As we are back to green flag racing, the 22 of Kobe Roberts has jumped out to another amazing lead. The 4 of DP has tucked it under the 8 for that 4th spot, as he is going to attempt to complete the pass going into this corner, but unfortunately is not going to get the job done and is now facing challenge from the 54 of SK. And SK may get around him here, as he has the preferred line at the moment, and opens the door for Samuel Roberts to do the same on the high side, as DP has fallen back to the 8th spot. Back up at the front of the field, we are still stacked up 1 through 3 the exact same way. Even the top 4, as the 8 did fend off the challenge. Not a lot of action going on. We will jump back to field, see if we can find you guys some action, as we have a nice little 3 group of cars here battling. That is the 17 trying to battle the 1 of Ryan Pinnell. And again, that 17 is 2 laps down, so that is not for position, as Ryan Pinnell is currently the last car on the lead lap. So these cars are trying to battle their way to the front and possibly get a lap back.
The yellow flag is out.
As the yellow flag flies again, let's see if we can figure out where the wreck happened. We don't see anything there that would institute a caution. Alright, well, let's go ahead and jump back to live. Not entirely sure why the caution came out. It's possible a car was coming out of pit road right in front of the leaders and was a little too slow coming back out onto the track. So as we're under caution here, let's go ahead and get our third place car in here. And Tom Sears, as he is having a phenomenal night. Let's go ahead and check in with him. Hey Tom, it's Tyler in the booth. You got me? Not too bad. So we noticed you're in that third spot. Do you think you have anything to challenge the 94 and the 22 tonight?
Jumped pretty. I had to come back from the back, but we'll see what happens. Just trying to keep it clean.
Certainly.
So much damage.
So before you go, we did want to ask you a viewer question here. What's your favorite breakfast food?
It's bacon.
Bacon,
Oh.
again.
Belgian waffles.
Belgium waffles, that's a good one. So we've had one bacon, one Belgium waffles, and one for pancakes. Well, we'll go ahead and get you moved back down into your team chat. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, man.
Warp Lotus says, well, I'm out, so yep, just kept getting killed. It is an unfortunate end to his night. I believe that was our 6th caution of tonight, so tonight has certainly had its share of cautions, but that's to be expected when it's the first race of the season. Everybody wants to get off to a great start and try to throw their hat in the ring for a championship, so everybody is driving extra hard tonight. And unfortunately, sometimes that does breed some cautions. We'll have to see if we have a longer green flag run, which could affect the outcome of this race, as we get the 1 lap to green, and they will line them up double file one more time. Just to run down the cars that are out, we do have the 8 of Justin Williams out, the 10 of Daniel Maddox out, and the 25 of Tommy out. So 3 cars are retired as Tristan Catania is going to try to continue to stay out and possibly pick up a few more positions. Warp Lotus says it's a wreck fest tonight. It certainly hasn't been the cleanest race, but again, that's to be expected with as hard as these guys are running. We are back to green flag racing as Kobe Roberts jumps out to an early lead again. Back on the pack, we have the 15 challenging the 51 for the 4th spot, but is going to fail to get it done. It looks like the 4 of DP might try to tuck it low under the 15, but the 15 is going to close the door. As we have the 94 trying to pass Kobe Roberts for the lead, and will. He is bringing Tom Sears with him as Kobe is desperately trying to close the door on the 4th place car of Brian Messer, and will, as the defending truck champion is out in front once again. The trouble may not be over for the 22 car. Not too sure what's going on with his truck as he is slowing way off the pace and is having cars just blow right by him now. That is the 15 of Samuel Roberts right behind him and the 4 of DP. As DP is looking to tuck it underneath of the 15 and is not going to quite get there. The 17 of Tracy Pinnell, who is 1 lap down, is right on the bumper of that 4 car, digging hard to stay the first car a lap down to try and get that Lucky Dog Award, as Samuel Roberts hits the wall and DP goes around with ease. Something is not right with that 15 car. And back up at the front, Nicholas Pressey has stretched his lead out now to almost half a second over 2nd place car Tom Sears, as he seems to be hitting a rhythm now. And that 15 of Samuel Roberts is continuing to struggle and fall back as he just continues to fall off the pace. Unfortunate for him. And the 4 car is under fire from the 17, although the 17 is a lap down, so he's just trying to get around and get his lap back. And he's going to tuck it low, and contact's going to be made as the 4 is out of the racing groove now and is slowly getting back up to speed. Lucky to not lose another position right there. And that 76 car is Thomas Andrews. With the adjusted paint job, it's possible that his number did not carry over, unfortunately. And that 4 car is certainly in trouble right now, as he has fallen all the way back. The 22 of Kobe Roberts, who was leading the race, had some trouble and has fallen well off the pace of the leader now. The 1 of Ryan Pinnell is way on back even further, 16 seconds back from his lead from the leader, hoping to not go a lap down. As back up at the front, Nick has checked out on the second place car of Tom Sears. This has certainly turned into a one-man show as the 14 hits the wall, and the 51 is going to tuck it low to try and get below him. And the 51 is being extra careful not to come up into him, but will get around him. Headed out of 3 and 4, I apologize. So the 14 of Tom Sears has fallen back to that third place as Brian Messer is trying to will this 51 car straight to the front. On back the field here, the 24 is trying to battle Tracy Pennell to try and get that lucky dog award and remove himself another lap. He is currently 2 laps down, so he'll need to get that twice to have any hope of competing for a win tonight. The 15 of Samuel Roberts is continuing to struggle as he is nearly 17 seconds back now. The 1 of Ryan Pennell is 23 seconds back and is desperately fighting to not go a lap down. As you can see, the leader right in that picture is running him down. He's going to try to fight to stay on the lead lap here. As his car is blinking out a little bit, possibly having some internet troubles. The 94 of Nicholas Pressey is going to tuck it down low and get by him with ease, put him a lap down, followed by the second place car of Brian Messer, who is running the leader down now. The difference between them is just 0.3 of a second headed into this corner as he is continuing to just run the leader down. Nick did check out to an early lead, but it seems the 51 may have been saving his stuff for this moment. As the 4 of DP is 8 seconds back. We are just checking in on back the field, seeing if we can find any action. Things are fairly close up at the front, as the 51 of Brian Messer has gotten around Nick Pressey for that lead. And Nick Pressey is now under fire from the 48 of Tristan Catania, who's trying to get his lap back. The 15 of Samuel Roberts is currently 13 seconds back of your leader, as his struggles are continuing. He is the first car, or the last car on the lead lap, so he's going to continue to try and battle and possibly catch up to this 22 car of Kobe Roberts, who has been struggling in his own right. He is only about a second and a half behind him now. We will continue to monitor that. Simcoe Racing said Kobe didn't come down for tires, so it's possible that that's where the struggles have come for Kobe. My guess is he will certainly do that now, as him and the 15 of Samuel Roberts are coming down pit road as we speak. So both of them now coming for those fresh tires. Again, your current race leader for the first time tonight is Brian Messer in that 51 car, who is having an outstanding run here on this stretch of green flag racing, and is continuing to pull Nick Pressey. The gap is about at a second and a half. Well, 2 seconds now. And continuing to get worse for Nick Pressey here. Tom Sears is 4 seconds back in that 13, or in that third spot in the 14 car. So he has 2 fallen off of the pace just slightly. My guess is that your leader will stay out as long as he can to keep as many cars a lap down as possible. But remember, every second that he stays out there, these lap cars that are currently lap cars will be gaining time on those fresh tires. So pit strategy is going to be crucial for whoever wins this race. The gap between first and second is approximately 3 seconds now. The 4 of DP is up to 4th place. And in 5th place, 2 laps down, well, was in 5th place, is SK, as he just got passed by the 76 of Thomas Andrews, as he is going to come down pit road right now for his 4 fresh tires. I would imagine that we will be seeing the leaders begin to come down pit road, as Nicholas Pressey is currently down pit road, perhaps trying to play a bit of pit strategy here and see if maybe he can pick up some time with the 4 fresh rubbers. As your leader continues to stay out with Tom Sears and DP in tow, as he begins to slow down, perhaps. Nope, not slowing down. That is just the strength of 4 fresh rubbers right there. So look for Nick Pressey to start to try to reel these guys in. He will have to hope for a caution at this point, but if none comes, as long as they have to come down pit road, he will be back on the lead lap. As you can see, Nicholas Pressey driving by your leader there to get one of his laps back. So the leader is now starting to slow down a little bit compared to these guys with 4 fresh rubbers. And it looks like he's going to tuck it down onto pit road now, as he realizes he is losing massive time. Let's go ahead and see if we can see how many fresh tires he's going to get, whether it'll be a 2 or a 4 tire stop. Tom Sears did take the lead for the time being. It is, in fact, going to be 4 fresh tires for that 51 car, as current leader is really struggling to get that car slowed down and barely gets it slowed down in time for pit road. That could have been very costly for him. We'll have to keep that monitor to make sure he did in fact get that slowed down, but it did look good to me. We suspect as these cars begin to cycle through that this 22 of Kobe Roberts and the 94 of Nicholas Pressey will be your 1-2. As Nicholas Pressey just passed the 22 of Kobe Roberts. That was for position, so as he comes back around this time, he will be your race leader, as the 14 of Tom Sears is just now coming off of pit road, as Nicholas Pressey comes screaming down the front stretch and into the corner to hopefully try and make a move on him, and he will. He will get back that leader spot, as Tom Sears has fallen back to 5th after those green flag stops. Brian Messer has fallen back to 4th. Samuel Roberts is up to 3rd, and Kobe Roberts is up to 2nd. And again, your race leader is Nicholas Pressey. And that is the distance between your 3rd and 4th place car. So we could still see Samuel Roberts try to move on up here, as the 51 is trying to negotiate traffic right now, lap traffic of the 1 of Ryan Pinnell, and will do so safely, and is now trying to navigate his way around the lap car of DP in the 4. Back up at the front with 18 to go, your current leader Nicholas Pressey has stretched it out to 4 seconds over that 2nd place car. Not sure if the 2nd place car is saving his stuff or not. We will keep you posted on that. Just to reconfirm, the 3 cars that are out of tonight's race right now is the 8 of Justin Williams, the 10 of Daniel Maddox, and the 25 of Tommy Reynolds. So unfortunate end to those guys' nights earlier in the race. They have retired.
is out.
checking on back to field as we have a yellow. Well, let's see if we can figure out what happened here. The 44 and the 14 are racing hard. The 44 gets loose in front of the 14, barely saves it, and then hits the inside wall, and around she goes. For our 8th caution of tonight's race. So, looks like we're in for a solid finish here, as the top 5, top 6 will group up. After the wave around, Thomas Andrews should get his lap back. It will be interesting to see if we have any takers down pit road, as we just had some green flag stops about 14 to 18 laps ago. And they do in fact take, the top 3 are going to take tires, top 4, top 5 are going to take tires, as the 76 of Thomas Andrews will get the wave around and more than likely will join them on pit road. It's going to be an exciting race off pit road. Some strategy may come into play here. Will we see 2? Will we see 4? Will we see fuel only? Doubtful. As Nicholas Pressey is off pit road, followed by Kobe Roberts and the 15 of Samuel Roberts, as the 14 of Tom Sears is still on pit road. Again, these cars that have stayed out so far, these are just lap cars. I apologize, the 51 won that race off pit road. It's possible that he took 2 there, so we'll have to see how that strategy plays out. I am really excited to see how these last 10 laps when we go back to green flag racing will play out. Lots of fast cars up at the front, and we should be in for quite an exciting finish here, as long as everybody can stay off one another. We have been given the 1 lap to green signal. Just to run over the running order here, in the 1 spot we have the 51 of Brian Messer. In the 2 spot we have the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. In the 3 spot we have Kobe Roberts in the 22. In the 4 spot we have the 15 of Samuel Roberts. In the 5th spot we have the 14 of Tom Sears. In the 6th spot we have the 76 of Thomas Andrews. In the 7th spot we have the 4 of DP. And those are all your cars currently on the lead lap right now. The pace car will tuck in. And we will be back to green flag racing as a phenomenal jump by your leader leaves Nicholas Pressey stunned. He's going to fall back to third as Samuel Roberts just got tugged by the 14 going into the corner. No caution yet as the 94 battles back on the outside of the 22. The caution has just flown. We definitely need to go back and see that. So as you can see, he gets tugged in the left rear and turned immediately. That's a tough end to his night. Looks like we're going to get another Fast and Furious restart here, which is fortunate for Nicholas Pressey because he really struggled on that last restart to time that restart right. The 51 of Brian Messer had an incredible restart, which allowed the 22 of Kobe Roberts to tuck it under the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. Luckily for him, he battled back on that high side and didn't give it up. While we're under caution here, let's see if we can bring your current race leader into the chat here. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing him. Oh, wait, this might be him. Hey, Doc, it's Tyler up in the booth. You got me?
Man,
Hey, what's going on? We notice you're at the front of the field right now. How does that feel?
a little unexpected. It doesn't make sense.
Do you think you'll be able to hold the 94 of Nicholas Pressey off on this restart?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not too worried about it, but then again, I mean, he's showed a lot of speed there late. I actually screwed myself out of that last green flag run because I had stayed out an extra lap. Caution's the only thing that put me in this position and a decent up. So yeah, we'll see. Nick's a clean driver, and I expect to hopefully hold him off.
Right. Well, before we let you go, we did want to ask you the viewer question. What is your favorite breakfast food?
I don't know, it brings me back to a time where I was stationed in Camp Pendleton, California. I love breakfast burritos, so like your typical french fries, eggs, bacon, and all that good trash. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time here in the booth. I'll get you moved back down to the team chat then.
Okay, appreciate it, man.
Again, that was your race leader, Brian Messer, in the 51 car, saying about how he was unexpectedly in the first spot, but he does think he can hold off defending truck champion Nicholas Pressey on this restart here, so we're certainly going to get to see whether or not he's got it in him as we get the one lap to green. They'll head into 1 and 2 one more time and down the backstretch and into 3 and 4 to get ready to start this race one more time. Inspire says, "You're a very good caster, Pluto. I appreciate that very much, Spires. But without the fans watching, it would all be for naught. Warp Lotus said I had tons of speed, just zero luck, and unfortunately he's right. He did have a lot of speed, he just couldn't seem to get that 8 car going in the right direction and had some trouble happen around him. As they headed out of 3 and 4 here, this race will get started one more time. Brian Messer's going to get another fabulous restart. Nick Pressy's going to get challenged for that second spot again by Kobe Roberts. But he's going to manage to hold him off, it looks like. And oh, Kobe Roberts gets into the 22, or into the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. That is very unfortunate for Nicholas Pressey. Let's go ahead and take a look back at what just happened here. Nope, not the right view. As the 22 and Nick were running very close. The 22 comes up the track and takes him out. That is extremely dirty driving there. Unfortunate for the defending Truck Series champion in Nicholas Pressey. We always hate to see it when somebody gets taken out. We will have to see if there will be any penalties assessed to that 22 car. Nick is going to head down pit road and use his fast repair. Will hopefully manage to stay on the lead lap. What a tough way to have this race play out for him. As you see, he did use his fast repair, so he's back on the track. He's not going to lose a lap. But he is going to have his work cut out for him as he will restart in that 7th spot, it looks like. So very unfortunate for Nick Pressey, who was having a solid run, was in that 2nd spot. Let's go ahead and go back and watch that one more time. So here they are, they're coming down the front stretch and they're close. They're real close to touching there. And then you're going to see the 22 just shoot up the track and not lift, and right into the left rear of Nicholas Pressey, unfortunately. Very, very unfortunate for Nicholas Pressey tonight. He was having a super solid run up to that point. We'll have to see if he can dig himself out of the hole he now faces. With that caution, though, we will get to see a green-white checkered for hopefully an exciting finish, as this 51 car is going to try to hold off the 14 of Tom Sears and the 4 of DP. The 51 has showed tremendous speed tonight as we get the 1 lap to green signal. Nicholas Pressey again will restart in the 7th position, so we'll have to see if he's able to dig his way out of that hole and salvage a potential top 5 finish. To the 10 viewers that are watching, I hope you all are as excited about this restart as I am. Warp Lotus says I don't have high hopes. As the pace car pulls in, the 51 is restarting the race extremely early in the corner, which is catching everybody off guard. He's pulling them 3-4 car lengths before the before the start-finish line. Back here for the second spot is DP as Kobe Roberts is making contact with another driver again. This time DP, he's going to squeeze on by as things are getting really tight. The 17 is now tucking it up underneath the 22 as the 14 of Tom Sears has fallen well off the pace now. And the 17 will in fact get around that 22 of Kobe Roberts, who is now under fire from the 76. The distance between first and second is closing fast as Tracy Pennell has thrown it. I'm not sure what just happened. Was that the end of the race there? I didn't even see a checkered flag fly. Huh. What? Well, that's your race, folks. Brian Messer in the 51 is going to win his first ever truck start in ARCS. As we expect a burn 'em down type of show. Nope, he's just going to be content to park it there for a second, and there we go. There's the burning of the rubber we love to see from our race winner. So just to recap the top 3, Brian Messer is your race winner. In second is the 4 of DP. In third is the 17 of Tracy Pennell. We will go ahead and try to get the first of them in here, which is Tracy Pennell. Tracy, Tyler up in the booth, you got me?
Yeah.
Hey, bud, you battled back all night to manage to scrape your way into the top 3. How does that feel?
Oh, after this night, man, it feels like a win.
Yeah, I certainly imagine so. There was a point where your race was looking very bleak. You were 3 laps down and somehow managed to pull that out.
Yeah. I think I passed the most cars tonight.
You certainly did. You were a man on a mission there, especially on that last restart, flying all the way up into that 3rd spot. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish.
Thank you, sir.
I'll go ahead and get you moved back down. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks.
All right, and now we have 2nd place finisher, DP. DP, you got me.
I do, buddy. How's it going?
Not too bad. Hey, similar story as Tracy. Really seemed to struggle in the middle of the race there, but found yourself in 2nd place at the end. How does that feel?
Feels great, man. There was a couple of spots where it was a little wrecking in front of you and trying to get around. So we had a little luck. Really clean for most of the race. Yeah, and I was a lap down, I think, with about 10 laps to go. Got a really nice caution, and I was able to get my lap back, and then we restarted fifth or sixth or something, and we was able to bring home second. I guess Doc maybe was running out of gas at the end there, so I was really coming on. If I had one more lap, I think I would have had something for him. But great race nonetheless. I'm proud of the effort.
Yeah, congratulations on that opening night second place finish. And thanks for your time, brother.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right, and now for your race winner, Brian, a.k.a. Doc Hollywood, bringing home the checkered flag. How does that feel, Mr. Doc Hollywood? Nothing? You there, Doc? Well, we seem to be struggling getting a response from Doc here.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, there he is. Hey, Doc. So, congratulations on your first place finish. How does it feel to bring home the win?
Feels good, man. Know what kind of car I had that race. I runs to really kind of. Dude, I'm ecstatic, man. I mean, nowhere did I think that this was going to be the end result, and obviously a lot of good race cars and some good drivers. I think it's Dover and in general is just a race of attrition.
Certainly, and you definitely won that race tonight. I mean, you earned it all the way around. You held off every challenge that came your way after you took the lead. And really the key, it looked like to us in the booth here, was those restarts. You were pulling them 3-4 cars before anybody was even getting on the gas, which was really surprising to see.
Yeah, I told everybody in my team chat that I wanted to try and be a fair race car driver. I mean, I personally, I understand that everything after green on the leader, I started off pit lane on the initial start, and then I knew Nick was going to be there on the second start deeper this time. So I had a strategy in itself because I knew that there was going to be guys trying to gauge it. Plus, my own teammates in chat were also listening to, like, oh, when is he going to go? Game there, but you know, if it changed the outcome of the race, then obviously I apologize. In a different result.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that you were starting it too early. You were starting it right at the exact moment you needed to. The key on a good restart, as you know, is being surprising with where you're going to start the race. So you did that all night. I mean, every time you had it, you were starting in a different spot to keep mixing it up. And really, that is the key to success here at Dover. I mean, if you can get a good restart, you're going to obviously have a huge chance at winning it at the end. And you did it all night long. We're very proud of you up in the booth. And I hope that I didn't misspeak, but this was your first truck race tonight, wasn't it? For ARCS?
It is. I followed ARCS through NASCAR Heat 4 and 5. I tried to join Ryan and about this time. Recently, PCS with my wife over to on last year's season, and I reached out to SK and Ryan, and I said, "Hey, man, I would look to rejoin you guys now." And you know, they gave me the opportunity, and I've come out to prove that I belong. And so yeah, it's first race, first result, but there's still plenty of racing for the rest of the season.
Certainly, and it's a great way to kick off your night. Before you go, we did have a viewer comment that says, it's from Simcoe Racing, aka Alex Simkowski. Says, thanks for your service, Doc, and we would like to also thank you for your service here in the booth as well.
Appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everyone that's out there. Obviously my unit, my previous unit was involved in the cobble strikes, and you know, I just want to shout out to men and women serving overseas right now. Just remember I want to say thank you to my wife, who's currently in the States right now, and I'll see them in about 2 weeks. That supports me, and shout out to ARCS for allowing me to be here and do what I love.
All right, Doc. Well, congratulations on your first place victory, and we hope that you can continue your success next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Again, that was your race winner, Doc Holliday, aka Brian, who dominated the restarts to win this race. As always, we thank all of the viewers who were commenting and watching this race and following along with tonight's action. Without you guys, we could not have a successful broadcast up here in the booth. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all enjoy your week, as next weekend we will do it all over again for you. This is Tyler. Have a good night, everybody.